Hey everyone, welcome to the Collateral Nation. This is a special week. It is a week to give thanks, and I am so thankful for you, Kevin, for being here and volunteering your time and helping so many people improve their walking distance and reduce their pain through all of your methods that have worked for you. So today is just like all of our other shows where you are ready to offer some incredibly valuable information. Today, we're talking about how to walk with your whole body. And that is something that I think that we can make a commitment between now and New Year's Day that we are all going to take your information to heart and we are going to try to walk with our whole body and see if it can make a difference. But first, Kevin, you got to tell us how to do it.
Okay, well, I have a prop here.
Oh,
Let's make
good. I
sure
like props.
I have to hold this up. Can you read it?
Yep. Yep, I can see it.
Okay. I started running in my 50s. I'd never been a runner. I have weak bones and joints because of rickets. So I never really ran. I didn't dare do soccer in case I broke a leg. Anyway, in my 50s, I decided to get into Ironman, and an Ironman race involves a marathon for which
Yeah.
it really helps if you know how to run. So I started out running. First, my son coached me and said I ran like a loaf of bread. And then I found a decent coach. But once I got to 5 miles, I had a lot of problems with my right knee. Turned out I had an ankle issue. And that was
Mm,
solved by a Feldenkrais instructor after she solved the problem, which turned out to be I was locking my right ankle, causing pain in my knee when I ran. And it didn't kick in until about 5 miles. So that
mm.
got me interested in Feldenkrais. And then I had to go to a PT to help me get that ankle to loosen up because I've been holding it in place since a bike wreck when I was 18. And now
Oh, no.
I'm in my 50s, still
Yeah.
locked. I even wore shoes of two different sizes. I held that ankle in so much I wore a size 10 on my right foot and an 11 on the left. Anyway, once we worked it out, went to
Wow.
PT, he found ways to get the ankle to let go, showed me an exercise with a towel that I would wrap around my foot and gently pull it. And gradually I brought that into line. And now I wear shoes the same size, right? And as I was leaving there one day, he hands me this book. He says, Kevin, you need to read this book because you need to learn how to run with your whole body, about which I knew nothing. And I'd never met a coach who mentioned it. And it's Feldenkrais based. And he changed everything about the way I moved and encouraged what I'm always talking about, shoulder hip counter rotation, which engages the springiness of your spine. And so you use that to carry you along the thing in a watch does this stuff. You do that with your spine. Also, it taught me how to run from my feet, my knees, my hips, and my shoulders. And now I mainly run from my shoulders. It also taught me how to eliminate essentially most of my heel strike. Of course, when I started running and before I learned this stuff, I actually broke my knees twice running, my right knee and my left knee. I ended up having running induced injuries to my knees, which needed surgery over at Duke. One was a split meniscus, the other was inflamed plica plus a Baker's cyst. And so I had to stop. So I stopped. So now I knew a bit about Feldenkrais. So I started studying different kinds of running. I had this book from my PT, really good guy in Chapel Hill. And I came across Danny Dreyer's stuff called Chi Running, which is really designed to help you get over heel striking. And it's heel striking that wipes you out, whether you're walking or running. It really is. So if you do the Chi running exercises, and you can do Chi walking, he has a book on that too. It's the same idea, walking or running. You want to have no impact stress. Impact stress sends a pressure wave up your leg that counters the systolic pressure, pushing it down. So it's counterproductive. So eliminating heel striking is really important. And if you have a good solid shoulder hip counter rotation, as your right shoulder comes forward, your left hip goes back. And you have to learn how to do that. Anyway, and that will cause your feet to come in from the side rather than on the heel, and that much reduces that impact stress or impact wave or shock wave up your leg. Anyway, that helps. And there's a couple, I think there's at least one video on my P.A.D. playlist on the Fit Old Dog channel on YouTube that explains how to do that. I made it with a BlackBerry years ago. I don't know if anybody here remembers those things, but anyway, that's why I made it with this. It's old, but it tells the right story. So I studied chi running, and then I learned how to do a shuffle using my whole body to minimize impact stress through heel striking. And so
Yeah.
here I am now running with a shuffle, and I'm running with my friends at the track, and they tell me, Kevin, you're never going to be able to run like that. You're not going to get anywhere with that shuffle. I said, well, let's see how it goes. And 2 years later, I qualified for the Boston Marathon. Now, if you
Wow.
qualify,
You know what I love is that you don't care what other people think. You want simply what works. And I think
correct.
that that is it's a really big deal for people who have PAD because one of the top issues I hear is I fear going out and walking and what other people will think when I'm sitting on the curb because I have a cramp. And then I walk a little bit further, I have to sit on the curb again. And it's just embarrassing. And I always have to tell them, you know what, honestly, you have to do you. You have to do what's best for you. You cannot worry what other people think. And I'm curious from Douglas's perspective, because Douglas has to deal with it and Mike has to deal with it. Oh, we have Carl as well, that deals with that. What do you guys think about going out and walking and having to stop and rest, even sitting down, on the curb? Carl?
I'm kind of oblivious.
Good for
That
you. You
that
do
part works
you.
for
There's a
and
great book on that. Sorry,
I'm
was
able
that
to
Carl?
choose a route that is interesting to sit in. So it just I stay engaged in liking my surroundings.
Okay. That's a really good way to do it. What about you, Mike? Because you went through so much, and I know that you feared even doing your 13K and how much you would have to stop. You ended up not stopping at all, but how did you get over the fear of, or did you have to get over any sort of fear of embarrassment of having to stop as you were along your journey trying to get to 30 minutes of nonstop walking?
To be honest, I never really had that kind of fear, and
Good.
to if I am being honest, I
Yeah.
wouldn't really care what other people thought. This is my life, and if I'm struggling and I'm struggling to walk and I have to stop, then that's me. And like Steve just said, I'd just take in my surroundings and just have a rest and just look at nature and look at life and people watch. That's I wouldn't really care about what other people thought, to be honest.
To
You
be
just
fair,
did you. And look at how far you've come. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm having a little bit of a bad week this week, to be honest, but
Yeah,
I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing
yeah,
with it.
we should talk about that because I mean, so many of us have that issue with the Raynaud's. Kevin, we're having some Raynaud's things as we move into winter, and that's definitely exacerbated with the cold weather. And even if it's not PAD that's causing your toes to go white and go cold, it's a little disconcerting. So I wonder if you've dealt with Raynaud's. It's the smaller vessels, right? And how you would suggest others deal with that. I mean, you could offer warming, wearing warmer socks. I don't know. What do you think? Do small isolated exercises help?
Okay, I've suffered from Raynaud's for about 40 years, long before PAD, before I found my aneurysm. It started
Wow.
on my sometimes on my feet and generally on my fingers. They go white on the ends. First, my
Yep.
whole hand would go kind of pink, and then my
Yep.
fingers go white right on the end. One time, I nearly lost all the skin off the back of my hand camping at below 30 degrees. And so what I do now, I'm prepared for the cold weather. I have cold weather gear, but what I do is I carry foot and hand warmers. And if you
Okay.
break them open, they last 6 to 8 hours, and they will keep your hands and your feet warm so the Raynaud's doesn't take over. So that's what I do. And also I try to avoid the weird thing about Raynaud's that I've found is you can just chill your hand putting it in the fridge and Raynaud's will happen. And you can go
Yep.
out on a freezing cold day and it doesn't. It's really unpredictable for me. So
Yep. Me too.
if I'm going to be stuck out in cold weather, I carry those hand warmers and foot warmers that I put. In fact, in races when it's cold rain, I will put foot warmers and hand warmers in my bike gloves and shoes. So when I come out of the swim, I can put my feet in warm shoes and my hands in warm gloves, and then I can stick them in my pocket on the bike when I'm well into the bike once I'm moving, and that's not a problem. So yeah, you have to plan for it, and it's so unpredictable. Excuse me, the dog is not unpredictable.
I've got to say, I have just ordered some hand warmers and some insoles for my shoes.
Yeah.
I've just ordered some off Amazon, so they should be here over the next couple of days. But it was over the weekend. I was even thinking that I wouldn't be able to do the treadmill for a couple of days and just have a break. But I'm that person that's quite determined, and I'm going to beat this. So yeah, I've been on the treadmill for 100 minutes this morning and done six
Wow.
2-minute interval run-ins in that hour and 40 minutes. So my feet are all right today. Let's just say
It's
that.
good. You're forcing that blood flow down there.
I'm not too right.
No, run, you need to run. I mean, I do. I ease back on the treadmill, but you need to run. But I use a very low impact shuffle on the run. I can go for quite a while, and then things start going bad and I have to stop and walk a bit, and then back. I don't actually have to stop, because you have to stop when you're running. You have to stop soon enough, right, Mike, before it gets bad.
Yeah, I run to the limit where I can start feeling the pain come in. Well, I call it discomfort. I don't call it pain. I try and lower it down a little bit with that. But yeah, as soon as the discomfort comes, I know that I'm pushing myself a little bit, so I do a little bit then and just carry on walking and go back down to a 3.4 miles an hour rather than the 7 miles an hour run that I do. I kind of half it and then just carry on walking, and the claudication pain subsides within 30 seconds, and I just carry
Oh,
on.
wow. Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a far cry from where you were. Because Steve, who's also in our live studio audience here, he was emailing me and saying, I want to do this on my own. I literally, I want the natural ways of improving PAD. And I think everyone who's here is a really great example of how to do it right and that it is possible. And, Mike 6 months ago was barely able to go up the hill, and now he's doing 13 Ks, and he's really taking Kevin's information to heart and what's worked for Kevin. And Kevin, even with PAD and a stented aneurysm, he's been literally able to compete at a world's level in triathlon. Is that right?
Yeah, Ironman, half Ironman right now.
Half Ironman. Keep remembering that. So, how would, if you were to give just a few, maybe 3 key suggestions to walking with your whole body that will help improve distance, reduce pain, and help with that claudication, what would those 3 things be? I know that the one thing that you taught me that took the pressure off my hips was the spreading of the toes. I've never had a hip problem since doing that. And the second one for me that really helped is you told me to really move my arms in an effective manner.
Yeah, instead of telling you 3 things, I want to tell you 30 things.
Okay.
You need to buy this book.
Everyone have your notepads ready.
No, it's not my book. It was written by a great runner, Jack Heggie, Running with Your Whole Body. And it is 30 exercises, 30 Feldenkrais exercises. Feldenkrais exercises are weird. They're designed to get you in touch with your body and engaging your body in a healthy way. And for instance, one thing they'll do, a Feldenkrais instructor will say, well, and you're lying on your back, and they say, well, is your right ear closer to your right foot or your left ear closer to your left foot? And there is no answer. They don't tell you an answer. You don't measure it. You think of it. You think, whoa, which one's closer? And some of the exercises are so weird in Feldenkrais, and some of these are in Jack Heggie's book. And there are 30 exercises. You do them 1 a day. You read the blurb, and the exercises are as simple as that. And strangely, and you do it on the right and you do it on the left. It's just, you buy the book. It's only available as a paperback on Amazon, as far as I know. You can probably get it on cheap books or whatever. And it's 30 daily exercises. I've run through the whole thing twice, and The exercises maybe take you 30 minutes or maybe take you an
Yeah.
hour to understand it and 30 minutes to do it. And you will learn how to use your whole body. That was the most useful thing I ever did in all of this beyond initial Feldenkrais training. And one of the exercises is so weird because you do them all on your right and on your left and you see how you feel, right? And you'll notice you do it on your right, do it on your left, you feel this big difference in your body because you're listening to your body. And one of them, he says, you do it on your right. And then he says, imagine doing it on your left. And you're like, what? So you imagine doing it on your left and you feel the same benefit as doing it on your left. And this is
Oh,
why
wow.
getting people to exercise in their mind in a hospital bed can help them get out of that damn hospital bed. Your mind is
So
playing a huge
interesting.
role in the way you use your body. So not only are you using your whole body, you're using your mind as part of your body, which of course
Huh.
they're
Yeah.
part and parcel of one big machine. So I would say to anybody, if you are serious about keeping going, get Jack Hagee's book and do the exercises and look at Danny Dreyer's chi running and chi walking stuff, which will help quite a bit. One thing about the chi approach is you lean forward and you use gravity. When you do that, you have to be very, very careful not to heel strike. Very careful. So you actually do use gravity to fall forward. If you watch children running, that's how they learn to run. They lean forward and then they start to sort of catch themselves. You do that, but you do it with a low impact technique. You combine that with the P.A.D. 100 method of turning your feet into pumps. You do all those things, and then you may be competing in an Ironman if you're lucky.
So can you talk a little bit more about those heel strikes? Because we all do it. And just what that looks like in your body when you're literally just coming down. It's coming down on your heel hard, right?
It
You're
doesn't even have
walking
to be, no,
into your heel.
doesn't even have to be hard, Kim. Just landing on your
Okay.
heel at all is a huge mistake. My first Ironman coach, Chris Howe, back in my mid 50s, he hammered that out of me about not heel striking. And I got the ability of it from Jack Hagee's stuff and Danny Dreyer's.
Okay.
And so it's a matter of if you have a distinct shoulder hip counter rotation, you will come in on the side of your foot. And the shoe industry has done us a terrible disservice. They have encouraged us to wear running shoes with a thick heel, thinking that thick heel will prevent you from shocking your knees. And you know, they don't. They fool you into thinking you're not shocking your knees, but you are still shocking your knees. And gradually you grind away at the articular cartilage and you end up bone on bone and then you can't run again. And that is, I've heard that from so many people. So I don't wear those kind of shoes at all. I wear Nike Frees, which are when I'm for running work, and they're basically a piece of rubber on the bottom of your foot, and that is the kind of running in McDougall's book, Born to Run, a great book, a tremendous book, but it caused a lot of people to get injured because they didn't go about it right. And so I would say number one, do the exercises in Jack Hagee's book, and if you've got the money, hire a Feldenkrais instructor to help you along the way. Number two, look at the Danny Dreyer stuff. Most of his stuff's free online if you don't want to buy it. I just bought the course for a few bucks as a CD back then and did the you have to do the work. You do the exercises and you learn, you explore your body. And so all those things now are just part and parcel of how I move. I remember one friend of mine said, Kevin, when you come in the restaurant, you move really weird. You're different to other people. I don't think you move normally. And I'm like, no, I'm the only one here who is moving normally. I
Yep.
mean, and it's really true. And
Hey,
so
I got to see you in person and I didn't think you moved weird at all.
I just move smoothly and easily.
You do.
But
You move with confidence.
it took 2 knee surgeries and years of practice and wanting to keep going. That's why
He flows when he walks in the room.
I love Nietzsche's comment about anyone with a why can always find a how. So you have to have a reason to do these things, and not losing your feet is a pretty good one. Yeah, it probably is 1677 now. It's a paperback. You can't get it as an ebook, Doug. Doug just noted the price. It used to be about 12 bucks. Have you noticed the price of everything's going up? So let's
No,
not.
actually, I've noticed that there have been some prices. We just got dog vitamins that are down $10, thankfully. I
Oh,
was
that's good.
shocked. So we're
But
starting to see a few things, but
the thing
eggs
about
could still come down a little bit.
thing about the book market is I've been looking at the stats because I try to make a living selling books, which I'm failing horribly right now. Paperbacks are coming down in terms of sales. Ebooks are climbing slightly, and audiobooks are climbing a lot. So I just converted one of my books to an audiobook. It's now being finally reviewed in ACX, which is kind of the gold standard for audiobooks. It took me a long time to learn how to do it. I recorded the thing myself and then had to analyze the audio. Did that with Reaper, which is really good software. And so I just wish Jack Hagee's book was available as an audiobook. I mean, it almost might be worthwhile approaching whoever has the ownership and suggest I do it, because it is such a wonderful book for learning how to move. I mean, it really is. Anyway, I would buy it. It's only the price of what? 4 cups of coffee in a fancy place like, one of these.
I think 1 cup of Starbucks, and this is more effective and healthier than Starbucks.
Absolutely. And so you have to do the exercises one a day. You have to read the material and do the exercises. And I tell you, I went through the whole thing twice over several years ago. I mean, I just do this stuff now. I mean, that's how I qualified for Boston. That's why I finished Ironman. I mean, this is why I haven't destroyed my knees and why I'm still moving at 82. I mean, a lot of it is due to this help I got from Jack Hagee and Danny Dreyer. I mean, really. And
So we have a question, actually. I'm down in Carlsbad. I'm with my dad. We're getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving with the family, and he's been listening in, and he has a question for you, if that's okay, Kevin.
Always.
Hey, Kevin, this is Bill. Got a question.
Hi,
What
Bill.
changed when I ran track in the 50s? We had spikes that were on the balls of the feet, and we ran on the balls of our feet, to now we do heel to toe. What caused the change, or what happened?
I don't know personally, because back then I wasn't a runner, but I imagine they were tearing up their Achilles tendons. I mean, if you're running
we had a guy in high school that broke the 10-second 100-yard dash running with those. So
yeah, no, that 100 yards is fine, but a marathon's a whole nother story. Sprinting is totally different to endurance running. And what we're really doing here is endurance, a little bit of intensity training mixed in, but this is endurance where P.A.D. is with us for life. I never actually did any real sprinting. I didn't start running till my 50s. I was a water polo player, martial arts and stuff like that, because I was a small guy who had rickets, so I didn't have strong bones. But yeah, I remember those spikes. I'm not sure if they use them now. Heel to toe is a bad idea because you're heel striking. But if it's 100 yards and you're young, it doesn't make any damn difference. It's not important. But if you are 50 years old and running marathons, heel striking will ruin your knees. You'll have trouble riding a bike after that. So
well, I used to run the 220.
Yeah, see, that's a sprint. I mean, that's real fast. I mean, that's fast shit. What was your time on 100?
Now I'm walking.
What did you say, Kevin?
I wonder what Bill's time was on 100 meters.
I didn't run the 100. I ran the 220.
What was your time?
What was your time?
24 seconds.
24 seconds.
See, that's how fast I go on a bike. Well, I can ride 100 miles. I can ride 100 miles on a bike like that.
So now he's had both hips replaced. He's trying to protect his knees. And how far are you walking now?
I am right now, because of the heavy legs I'm getting at work. I'm doing 2.25 miles, and I've dropped it in 3 weeks from 30 plus minutes per mile down to, I've got as low as 23 and change per mile.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And what tips would you have? So he's standing here and he's hearing you talk about walking with the whole body, and the shoes. I was going to have you repeat what shoes not to wear and what shoes to wear. That can help to make sure you're not getting the wear and tear on your knees while you're trying to improve your walking distance.
Number 1, go through that book by Jack Hagee. That's really most important. Number 2, have a big toe box in your shoes. Number 3, don't wear tube socks. When I run,
no tube socks, and
I have toe ones.
Yeah,
Wide
and
toe
I
box.
don't wear socks in my running shoes. I have bare feet in my running shoes. My hiking boots, I have smart wool socks, which spread and they're very loose and comfortable. So when I'm, walking cold weather and doing long walks in the rain or whatever, but all my exercise with respect to running is in Nike Frees, which are basically a piece of rubber on the bottom of your foot, which is what the Tarahumara Indians were doing in Born to Run. But you're doing very well, Bill. Have I met Bill before? I don't remember.
Yep, we had he was the one we had breakfast with when we were in North Carolina. You had breakfast with us.
Is this your dad?
This is my dad, sorry.
Oh, I didn't know who Bill was. Okay, now I know who Bill is. Oh, Bill knows
Yep.
what he's doing. Bill knows what he's doing.
I have been wearing Asics for umpteen years because I know when I go in and buy a pair and they work and they fit the same size for all the years. And I've gone through 20 or more pairs of Asics.
Yeah, I wore Asics for a while. Don't they have some kind of gel in the bottom? I forgot. Yeah, I wore
They do.
Asics. I wore all sorts of shoes, and in the end, I realized anything with a big heel was only doing me harm. So after I read that book by McDougall about Born to Run, I went over to I tried barefoot running. I realized it was a really stupid thing to do on the road, but I would still do it on grass and sand. And then I went over to Nike Frees, and I've stayed. But then once you find a thing that works, you got to stick to it. And there is a brand of Nike Frees you can actually pull the shoes on and off your foot without laces. And so I don't even need elastic laces in them. And it's easy to get on and off, which is important. You got a rock in your shoe, you got to get it off. You don't be sitting on the side of the road getting a rock out of your shoe.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no. And
Bill,
they're called Nike Frees.
Nike Free, yeah.
Nike Free. So we can probably check out and see if they have any here in the area. And just it doesn't hurt to try them on, right?
Hang on, where is it?
Oh, he's actually showing them.
Let me see. It's hard to find. Where's the camera gone there? I got to get them in front of me. The only way to
You
do
got to
it.
get them in front of you.
It's a stupid thing. There they are. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Yeah, that's what I wear. I mean, they work for me. It doesn't mean they work for you. They work for me.
Yeah.
But
Mine seems to
I
work to
really,
give me a
really
spring.
encourage people to read Jack Hagee's book and do those 30 exercises. And some of them are really strange. I mean, you'd be lying on your back and with one hand reaching towards your foot and reach towards your foot and reach towards your foot. And think about it, reach towards your foot. It's a thing like that. And you lie on your back and what good's that doing? And then funny thing is, the next day you're saying, "Wow, my shoulders feel good." It's Feldenkrais based. It's brilliant. Moshe Feldenkrais was a brilliant man. Anyway, that's what I say. I've been promoting it for years and years, but you have to do the work.
Yeah, he was talking a little bit before about making sure you're not heel striking and you're walking more on the edge of your foot versus heel to toe.
No, you don't walk on the edge of your foot. You shoulder hip rotation causes you to come in towards the ground from the side of your foot, but you do a very gentle landing. And at the same time, remember, you spreading your toes and contracting your feet, spreading your toes, contracting your feet, involving your shoulders, and your hips, relaxing your head, keeping your spine good, all these things.
You remember it all and still remember walk, talk, and chew gum.
Learn one at a time. You incorporate them slowly into your body movement, into your biomechanics. And that's
I have to show my dad the video of the P.A.D 100 because that's a great way to get him started. And that's how Mike here actually got started.
Take care.
My dad says thank you.
Thank you.
Who's he saying thank you to?
To you, Kevin.
Oh, me? I'm just some old fart playing around trying to anyway.
Oh, he's been trying to get it himself back and going, and he doesn't want to have any sort of knee replacement or anything like that. And and we hear this from a lot of patients that when you have P.A.D, many people have back issues as well, like he does. And he's had to incorporate some back stretches, core strengthening exercises to help him with his walking distance to improve the heavy legs.
Yeah, core strength and core stretching are also critical. I do core exercises. I have a way to measure core strength where you stand on one leg and pull the other knee across in front of your pelvis, locks your pelvis. And if your balance is worse, you have a weak core. Because what you do, if you lock your core and your balance is better, if your balance is better when you lock your pelvis, then you have a weak core. And strong core, but also flexible. So stretching, I stretch after every workout, never before, never with cold muscles. Walking warms you up. A good way to warm up and stretch is to swim a mile or two. That works too, though it's a hassle.
And Doug has several questions. He's been listening in. Hi, Douglas.
Yeah, I was just curious. I could be mistaken, but I think we've heard some pediatrists say to wear socks because it helps prevent getting sores and blisters on our feet, and that's not a really good thing with having P.A.D. So I was just wondering, does that really depend on the individual and where they are with P.A.D.? And you can find that book on Amazon, and it does have an audio, Kevin. There is an audio.
Oh, does it really? Oh, that's new.
Yeah,
I never noticed that. Oh, good. Then get the audio. I bet that's more expensive. They charge through the they charge a lot for audios. I'm kind of surprised. All in the manufacturer, I guess. I mean, it took me 200 hours at least to make that audio book, but I had to get all the gear as well. Okay, the no socks thing. I was having terrible trouble getting corns on my right foot, the one which was biomechanically the least able. And I started getting corns on that foot. And then for some reason, I didn't have socks with me and I had to do a walk run. So I did it without socks and it felt great. It was fine. And then within a few days, the corns melted away. They just melted away as soon as I stopped wearing socks. So all I can say is not wearing socks got rid of my corns. And those corns hurt a lot. I mean, they hurt a lot. I remember I did a half Ironman race with corn in my foot and the run was hell. And once I stopped wearing socks, which are clearly rubbing, and I'm using, good quality socks, soft socks, I stopped wearing them several years ago, and the corns went away and never came back. And that's the only reason I don't wear socks. But you have to experiment. This isn't about what Kevin Morgan does. This is about you experimenting and finding out what works for you. So that's the only reason I don't wear socks in my running shoes, Doug. I thought it was crazy. I thought it would never work. I don't know why, it just does. It's somehow about my biomechanics and the way my foot talks to the ground. Remember this, your feet are having a conversation with the ground. You're not just clumping along like a damn robot. Your feet are talking to the ground, and the ground has things to say, believe it or not.
I'm a part of the running club here, and they allow me to walk in their events. But there is a gentleman that shows up at every event, no matter how far they're doing it, with no shoes or socks at all. And during the summer, I just didn't understand how he ran on the concrete in the places we did with no shoes at all, but he did.
You have to have really tough feet, and people with I have an aneurysm, right? Well, aneurysms come with weak connective tissue because they're genetically a result of weak connective tissue. If you have really strong, firm connective tissue and you ran on bare feet as a kid or lived in Africa, you might be fine as long as you don't, run on glass and wire. But if you have weak connective tissue, there's no way you can run on the roads with bare feet. So it comes down to how strong the bottoms of your feet are, and so. Sorry.
One more question. I have been trying to incorporate all the little. How long did it take you to really get to a point where you felt comfortable putting everything together, doing things correctly? Does that make sense? I mean, was it a struggle for a while, or?
It's a really good question because I had to learn as I went along, but now I can say what I did and they're working so people could do it faster. How long did I take to learn to run without hurting myself? 10 years with 2 surgeries. And then how long did it take me to master a full Ironman race? about 15 years, in addition to having to learn distance swimming rather than water polo and how to ride a bike comfortably for 112 miles. That took about 15 years before I was comfortable with full distance. But I would say we're just wanting to be able to walk and not lose our feet. And so these little tricks about shoulder hip counter rotation,
Yeah.
learning how to move your body, not wearing tight toe box, all these little tricks, we can pick that up in months and improve things dramatically. How long it took? I spent 4 years doing martial arts. I played water polo for probably 6, 7 years. I mean, I did skiing, I did all these things. And every one of those things, including my medical training, plays a role in how long it took me to come up with the things I say here. And I feel like I'm still learning. I'm still trying. I mean, running with P.A.D. is really difficult. I mean, it's a really difficult problem. It's a hemodynamic problem, of the worst kind. And the biggest problem is mental. Because I ran Boston. Now I have trouble running at all. It's dreadful. But don't give up. So I would say.
I walked off the road the other night because I'm trying to watch my hip or my shoulder, and I caught myself walking off the road. And it was like, I got to pay attention to the road. So it's trying to learn how to do all this at the same time.
Right. So if I learn a new thing, I'll do it on pretty flat road and or flat trail, which is, soft. But first I learn everything on the treadmill. When I want to make a small change, like that business of spreading my toes and contracting the muscles in my feet, first I learned that sitting on the side of the bed, and then I learned it on a treadmill. And once I felt I could do it pretty well, and I started doing very short distances on the road, getting the feel of it, but incorporating it into my shuffle run, which I developed years before. I mean, and there's a video online showing that. And that I learned from Jack Heggie and Danny Dreyer. I mean, literally, I learned it from their videos and books. I really did. And so, so you do it little by little. And if you feel things going squirrely, like you find 2 days later you got a bruise on the ball of your foot, I disappear from the screen. Do I have to leave and come back?
Nope.
Can you hear me?
Oh, he's frozen. Yeah, we can hear you though.
Hang on, I'll leave.
So this has been really, really informational. And I didn't know, Douglas, that you had joined. I know on Mondays you run our smoking cessation group. And you were doing walking on Mondays, but you had to not walk with them in order to make the smoking cessation group so you could mentor, the folks in the group. But you joined something else. You joined a different group.
They're trying, the running group is trying to get together a walking group that
Okay.
does not. It's not the mall walkers. We all know who the mall walkers are.
Yeah.
They're trying to get they're trying to work out where they have a group of people doing, because there was a lot of walkers at the last one I went to, the last 5K. 3 weeks ago. There was a lot of walkers, so they're trying to get where we can do it in different areas and go to different places and just walk together and not have to worry about the run right now.
We have a note that just came in from YouTube. You have your own friend fan base on YouTube, Douglas. You have Robert that's saying, watch out for them goat heads. Douglas, good morning.
So watch out for the what?
He says, watch out for the goat head.
No, the boards are back. We have to now. I can't.
Oh, the
walk
boars. He's talking about the boars. He means the boars then.
The boards are back in the neighborhood now, so it's dangerous to walk
Yeah.
down my road because the boars are out again.
You have to dodge the snakes and the boars. So if it's not the boars, it's the snakes.
So these
So
are
how do I
these wild boars?
Carrying my 9mm with me.
Yeah, they're dangerous as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll take you out.
Yeah,
So
that's scary. So he's literally taking his life into his hands when he goes out for a walk. But that's why, Douglas, you found a walking group elsewhere. At least the running group, and they're forming the walking group, right?
like and it's like the mall. I tried the mall walkers once, and it's just they do it totally different than what Kevin wants us to learn to do it by. So it's trying to, it, and how many of us? I enjoy walking alone. There are times I wish I had people to walk with, to talk and share, and do that with. So when you're running in a 5K, there's always people there. When you're walking with it, I always finish last. I finished last every time I did it, but I finished.
Same here.
You
So
finish.
Same here.
and it's like when I go, my issue, Kevin, is I love the forest. I love walking out in the woods,
Yeah.
but all my friends and my family are scared of that. If something happens to me while I'm out there and I'm 3 miles down, I live in a great place. We have a lot of places to go in the woods and walk. But if something happens 3 miles out in the middle of nowhere, everybody's going to panic and all of that. So it is trying to find those places to walk and not walk in the same places every time. Gets boring.
Oh,
I
it's
don't know
also,
if that makes
if you're being
y'all.
hunted by a mountain lion, it's a bad idea.
Yes.
Always take a different course. I know there was a cyclist killed in California that he always took the same track. In the end, they found his bike and half his helmet, and that was all they ever found. They think he was taken out by a mountain lion because he always took the same loop. Anyway, yeah, but the thing is,
That's interesting. They have the patience, I guess, of a saint. I mean, they'll stalk you every day.
Man, yeah, they're scary
Yeah.
creatures. That's not as scary as humans, though.
That's true. We had
That's why
because
I
we have
feel quite.
chickens behind our
Oh,
house. We have chickens behind our house. We get nervous because every once in a while on the cameras we'll see a mountain lion that has I mean, they're agile. They jump over the fence and they're able to scale behind in between the houses. And so um, we get a little nervous having our little Pomeranians.
Yeah, we have coyotes. We got to watch out for that. Well, you're going to say something, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
If I'm walking,
yeah, I was
I
just
get chased,
sorry.
or I can learn how to run.
Hmm.
Don't
I
be
was
Would you
just
say,
going
limited.
to say that
Douglas?
I feel.
Go on, Mike.
It's all right. Go on, Doug.
I just said if I get chased by a boar, it'll teach me how to run. It'll give me motivation to run.
Hey, be safe out there. That's probably true. You'll probably learn some new strides.
I was going to say I feel quite privileged to be in New Brunswick because New Brunswick in Canada is known for its trail system. I think there's 4,000 kilometers worth of trail system that you can go for walks on. So, like Douglas said, he doesn't like going on the same walk twice. I don't really get that because it's I can go on a different trail every day if I wanted to get to where I was going. So I'm quite privileged in that aspect.
Yeah, no, that's really nice. That's good.
I guess
Awesome.
you could use virtual reality on a treadmill.
Then you can go, yeah. Just like, when that was the value I think of Peloton is that Peloton really created was that ability to, have the virtual um, environments that you could run or walk, choose anywhere in the world that you could ride.
Whereas really, you should be listening to your body the whole time. But that's Asperger's speaking. So, oh, by the
No, but
way,
you make a really good point.
I had to read this book by Jack Hagee.
Make
Running
sure,
with
I don't
your
know if you
whole
can put
body.
that in.
Yep. Sorry.
Can you put that in the chat so we can copy it? Maybe we can put it in, up on YouTube as
How do
well
I-
what this book
How do I
is.
do that? How do I put it in the chat?
Was that, oh, Douglas, what were you going to say, Douglas?
Kevin,
Oh,
is the walking techniques on the trail, would you use them the same as on a street? Because when you're walking trails, it's uneven surfaces or rocks or inclines, and And so is the walking technique kind of the same? Or
Watch it.
would it change?
You got to watch
Yeah,
where you're sitting.
trails to street to treadmill, I would imagine. Is it all the same? Is I
No.
think what he's asking.
You have to watch what you're doing on a trail. I don't run trails anymore. It's too dangerous. But walking trails is fine, but you got to watch where you put your feet. You just have to watch what you're doing. You have to be much more attentive. That's my experience. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a root or something that's sticking up, you could easily tweak your ankle.
Or a snake.
Or a boar.
Yeah, or a boar. Well, I don't want to be a boar, so I'm talking too much.
No, you're not. This has been really informative. This has been a really good session. I think that if we can get those books out there so people know what they are, but it's nice. I think there are some people that learn based on reading. I know that I get more and more confused if I have a book that's going to teach me how to walk. That's a little daunting to me versus and I like the way you say, hey, don't just try to read the whole book at once. Just take it technique by technique and start incorporating one thing at a time. Get good at the one thing and then move on to the next and add a little bit more and add a little bit more each time.
It's the way to do it. Absolutely is.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us. This is really, really fun. I hope that everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. I would love to hear what everyone is thankful for. I think it's always good going in to Thanksgiving with a moment of gratitude. So I would love to hear, Kevin, what are you most thankful for this year?
What I was thankful for? Same
Yep.
thing every day. I'm thankful for not being dead. I consider myself very lucky. I'm just going to see if this ebook is available as a paperback, as a audiobook. I don't see it. Paperback, mass market, hardcover, mass market paperback. I'm just wondering where you found the audiobook. Is that
Yeah, Douglas, maybe you can send it to Kevin and let him know where you found that audiobook because that would be
I'm very
incredible.
surprised.
I
Get
saw
them.
it on Amazon.
Well, I'm most grateful for having a new girlfriend. How's that?
Yes. That's a great. What are you guys doing for the Thanksgiving? Or is she with you?
No, she's in Missouri right now because of her work.
Okay. So what are you cooking for Thanksgiving?
I already cooked it. Where is it? I cooked three of them. Hang on. Vegan.
Have you cooked any carrots?
Oh, I got that at school. Oh, we always have carrots and peas in English. It's hard to show this damn thing with this thing. I know. I don't think I'll do this again. It's
No, I see it.
it's a vegan meatloaf.
That sounds good. What do you use for the sauce? Do you use any sauce? Do you make a sauce with it?
I thought about putting barbecue sauce, but I didn't. It's Impossible Burger meat. Liam Perrins, lots of onion, which gives a lot of juice. A lot of garlic. Breadcrumbs, of course, plain breadcrumbs, usual stuff, meatloaf stuff,
It was interesting on this past week's nurse practitioner. Actually, the one today. It's pre-recorded. I just gave it away. It's going up at 4:30 Eastern time today on our YouTube channel. Great time to say, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel for great content because we do have nurse practitioner Deidre, youtube.com/the @ the way to my heart is our channel. But we have nurse practitioner Deidre today that is going through some great Thanksgiving options that are vegan options. She also has those options for, people who are still eating meat. But really the key is those side dishes. And then also on our channel, we interviewed Dr. Michael Danziger, a world-renowned diabetes reversal expert. And we did so, we were live. So check our live section because I think that's where we got a new version of tofurkey, which shocked me because I was like, okay, actually, I would try to make this tofurkey. It's a different way to make it than what I think most people do. And even Dr. Danziger was like, I think that looks pretty good. So if you're looking for healthier alternatives that can, you know, help with your A1C, help reduce your inflammation in your arteries, make sure to check out those videos. Because what we did was we went to YouTube and we went to Instagram and we found what most of the influencers that are talking about healthier items and showing you how to make healthier items for Thanksgiving, what they were talking about. And they had some pretty good options that I think I'm going to try all year long, like the roasted vegetables and the Brussels sprouts. And so there was some good stuff out there. You
Shall I
don't,
tell
you know,
you, say, Kim, shall I tell you the healthiest item to eat?
water and lemon,
No,
celery sticks,
no,
Carrots.
less,
carrots.
less. Eat less.
Okay. It is less. Yep. The
Just eat
healthiest
less.
thing to eat is less. It's true.
There's a reason why I keep saying carrots here, Kim, and you might get onto it because of last week. Well, what I found when I was
Oh,
looking.
no. Wait, where's the carrot? No, 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 no. We can't end this session without the carrot. Where's the carrot, Mike?
So
Mike?
Kevin will know about this, I think. So there's a shopping centre in England called Aldi, and they do Kevin the carrot.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I left
Did you
England.
not?
I left England 45 years ago.
He's riding my bike.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's some funny carrots out there. Some are fairly obscene. So let's not get into that.
So Kevin, like
And he's
Kevin,
actually got a kilt on,
Oh yeah,
and he is named Kevin the carrot.
Kevin the carrot. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I never heard of
we
that.
have this. It's going to be over the holidays. So every Wednesday, he's going to have a different place where Kevin the carrot is going to reside. So everyone needs to be watching of where we're hiding Kevin the carrot. And it's just totally in honor of you,
Yeah.
Kevin, because we love you.
It reminds me of that gnome that remember that gnome used to be all over the world? There's a gnome on top of Mount Everest, this little gnome they carry around everywhere. That was
Yep.
pretty. It was Kilroy was here in England. Kilroy was here. I worked as a crane fitter's mate one time. I had to go up in this, this equipment like up to 400 feet in these steelworks and stuff. And you go to the most remote place of all, and there scratched in the steel was Kilroy was here. It was same idea.
I have
That's
to say
brilliant.
goodbye. I have a schedule I have to keep today.
Fantastic, Carl. It was great seeing you. Great seeing everyone. I want to wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. Carl, what are you most thankful for?
Well, I want to go back to your original question when you asked about the embarrassment and the,
Oh,
stopping
yeah.
to sit.
Yes.
And what I realized later on in the group is that I had had all those feelings prior to understanding and learning about the fact that I have PAD, and because my world was shrinking and my capacity was diminishing because I didn't understand how to respond to the sensations. So once I became familiar with it, then it was like it all opened up. So that kind of shame or whatever you were asking about was on the other side of it. Once I got familiar with it and I started engaging it, I'm really thankful that this year I came to understand that I have PAD and that there's some damn things that I can do about it.
Yeah.
So that's my gratitude this year is like,
That's
yeah.
a good one. That's a good
That
one.
is beautiful.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I need to go. I have to take somebody somewhere.
No, thank you everyone for joining us. I'm so thankful for all of you. And
Nice to see
I
you, pal.
appreciate you so much. And I look forward to seeing everyone next week, hearing about your Thanksgiving and how you're maintaining your goals of walking every day as much as you can, walking with your whole body. If you want to learn more about walking with your whole body, make sure you do sign up for Kevin's newsletter at inspirationalselfhelpbooks.com. Also on his YouTube channel, youtube.com/the@fit old dog, even though I don't think he's a dog. But that's his thing. That's his shtick. Fit Old Dog. That's his YouTube channel. Make sure you go on there, subscribe to his channel, and check out his videos because he demonstrates how to walk with your whole body. He also demonstrates some great exercises that can take you step by step to the point where you are walking further and faster. And again, our channel as well for great content and Collateral Nation. Make sure you do like this video, subscribe to our channel. The way to my heart is our call sign. And I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everyone. And we are also thankful for our amazing YouTube producer, Josh. Thank you for all you do to help us to save life and limb by sharing this great content.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.
Yeah, thank you, Josh.